Hey guys, Jim here. Kind of want to do, I don't know, just like a little rambling, kind of just talking things out, the things that are in my head. Kind of like a little bit of a therapy session, I suppose. Kind of wondering in my own mind how we go through our stages in collecting. And this is something I've been through quite a few times, whether it be watch collecting, doing the car thing, the motorcycle thing, guns, knives. I have obviously a number of addictive hobbies. But I've got to wonder at some point, as we look at our great collections, again, whether it be watches, knives, where we can sit there and look at everything and revel in the things that we have collected, the opportunity buys that we have gotten, grails that we were hunting, that dropped in our laps. That at some point when we were chasing them, we were thinking, if I could just get that one, if I could just get that one grail, oh, I'm going to be happy for a while. I don't need anything else. And I don't know if that's more justifying to yourself or maybe to your spouse or significant other. But what happens is you get that grail you were chasing. You get that one special piece. And even before it arrives, just knowing that you've snagged it, you've paid for it, it's on the way. You got a freaking tracking number. How long until you're back on another site, on another forum, scrolling through YouTube, keyword search, knife sale, looking for that next great score, even though you love what you've got. You've gotten to a point where you really don't know that you could be any happier, but, well, there's that one deal. I want to pass that up. What's the turning point for you? And I think I'm kind of at that right now, and this was really the knife that changed the way I looked at my collection. I've only had this for about a week, and like I said, I'm still very deep in my honeymoon stage with it. But this has changed my expectations for a quality knife. It's made me rethink how I want to spend my money. And sure, this is a very expensive way to have to rethink things. But I look at this and go, do I really need anything more? Do I need anything else? I could literally get rid of everything I've got. Don't get any ideas. Don't email me. I could literally get rid of everything I got. And as long as I had this, I know I could actually be happy as a normal human being. But collectors, we're not normal human beings, are we? We do very strange things in the pursuits of our goals. Here's one that people pursue all the time, and they pay crazy money. I would never pay $1,000 for a 3.5-inch Hinder or Spanto flipper. Never. Very fortunate I got a good price on this. But I know plenty of people that do, and they are very, very happy that they did it. They probably would have paid more. And I get that. I've overpaid on a couple sitting right here. I overpaid on this one. I overpaid on this one. Fine with that. Because I could justify it to myself. We do strange things. I've actually talked to people. I'm not this bad, thank God. But I've actually talked to people that when they would buy something, they would have a separate credit card that their wife had no knowledge of. And the shipping address would be to their office where their wife couldn't possibly intercept it or see them get it. I always thought to myself, how crazy is that? To hide big dollar purchases from your spouse. But you know what? There's plenty of people that can justify that. That's one of the stranger things that I've seen people do for this obsession. Oh, God, I love this. I don't think I'll ever get that bad. Now, the truth is, my wife knows all the stuff that I buy. My wife is wonderfully tolerant. She's friggin' awesome. I don't exactly tell her every penny that's spent. I wouldn't tell her how much I paid for the direware. No way in the world. Are you kidding me? Her head would spin around like crazy. But she's got a pretty good idea. I keep my play money aside. Just my money, extra money. Never takes away from, family needs, household needs, anything like that. So she's cool with it. But I've talked to a lot of people that have the obsession really badly, and they will actually skip out on paying a bill to score a cool knife or cool whatever it is that they collect. And I'll never understand that. But you know what? It's kind of like an addiction, isn't it? Just like I was just saying, oh, you've got that next big score. You've got it on the way. You can't wait to get it. It's your end-all, be-all. And then you find yourself on Blade HQ or Fort Henry Knives, Arizona Custom Knives, eBay, USN. Going, oh man, oh, look at that. I should get that. I can't get a deal like that again. Especially something like this. Something like this comes along, it's a one-off. Dude's got to pay his bills because there's another guy that overspent, probably by mistake, probably an honest mistake. And he's like, oh shit, I'm going to end up with my ass in a sling. I got to sell off a knife or two. And it's a one-off. You're never going to see it again. And this is how we justify it to ourselves. I'm never going to see it again. I'm going to find a way to buy that. We all fall into that trap as collectors. But when do you hit that wall? When do you hit that wall and look over your collection and go, you know what, I'm pretty damn content. And this video is actually, my commentary is actually inspired by a recent video I saw our buddy Vance do. Because he went from having a whole bunch of different knives, all kinds of different, from production knives to pimped production knives to custom knives and mid-techs. And he has scaled down from however many knives he ever had at one time to right now he has 6. And he says, I'm done. I've got the 6 knives that I really want. They're all incredible customs. He has 2 more that are being built for him, and he's done. Now, that shall remain to be seen. How done is done. I don't really know. But he's hit that brick wall. He's looked at it and went, I'm slightly obsessive. I'm driving myself mad. Always on the search for something new. How many times have you guys hit the Cove and you've read through everything and you went back and then you would refresh every 15, 20 minutes? You'd keep that page open. You'd be surfing in other tabs. You'd go back and hit refresh. Did somebody post something new? Because the good stuff, all that gets snapped up quick. See, it's that obsessive little voice in your head. Better refresh before somebody puts an I'll take it out there. And he seems to have hit that brick wall. He knows what he wants now. He's focused. He's got it narrowed down. And he's content, at least for the time being. What's going to put you at that point? I really want to hear from you guys on this one. I want to see a lot of responses. What's going to put you at that point where you go, I am finally content. I love the collection that I've got. I wouldn't want to part with any of the knives that I've got. And I don't feel the need to have another. And the thing is, I thought I was going to be like that after getting the Rockstead. And it really is. It is pretty much the end-all, be-all for me. However, scrolling through a forum tonight, or earlier today, I should say, and what pops up but a name that I've been chasing for the better part of a year. And probably longer, more subconsciously, but I've been more actively searching to get my hands on a Kirby Lambert. I've always loved the designs, and then you hear people talk about them, and they beyond rave. The incredible perfection that you see in a Kirby Lambert, kind of like what you see here in this Will Moon. I mean, just look at this. Look how this is manufactured. And to hear about it over and over and over again, well, one popped up. I said, well, I can't deny myself the guilty pleasure. I don't really need it. If somebody else had bought it out from under me, no big deal. But I saw it, and it was a slightly rarer version of an incinerator. What a great name. I can justify it by that. Need to have a knife called the incinerator. Good price on it. So I shoot the guy a message. Wait a while, he finally gets back to me. Respond back to him to close the deal. Okay, send me your PayPal info. And it's been like 8 hours. Maybe even actually longer now at this point. Haven't heard a thing back. And I feel that itch, this feeling of being on pins and needles. When the hell is this guy going to message me back? I want that incinerator. I don't need it. I don't even know that I want it all that bad. I want it because it's a Kirby Lambert. I want it because I've wanted a Kirby Lambert for so long that I don't know how to control myself and say no to it. And that makes me wonder, well, do I have a problem? I'm knowingly entering into a purchase for an item in which I really don't have a need. I mean, I have similar knives in my collection. I could take my Greg Lightfoot here. Very similar in the type of knife that it is. Overall size, yada, yada, yada. But I want to experience that in my hand. That's what she said. I want to feel it in my hand. I want to hold it. I want to know what it's like. Will I flip it? Will I keep it? I don't know. But these are the weird things. And when you take that moment to stop and examine yourself, and you have to wonder, am I crazy? Am I obsessive? I don't like to think of myself as obsessive over anything. Not since being a teenager and being obsessed over having sex. Been married again. Couldn't be happier. That obsession part is gone. The happiness and the love of the experience and all those great things obviously are still there. The appreciation is still there, but the obsessiveness is gone. So what does it take to be able to sit back and go, I'm content with what I have. I love what I have. I want to maintain a monogamous relationship. Practice monogamy with this current collection. Well, I feel like kind of a cheating whore. Because even when I think I'm done, there's another deal that pops up, springs out at you. And you go, well, shit, I can't pass up on that. What makes it worse is you're breaking a promise to yourself there. A little internal promise. But at some point, we've all looked at our spouse and went, you know what? You're right. I don't need this many knives. I don't need to have a knife coming every couple of days or every week or every month. And you still forget about the ones that you're waiting on from custom makers that are still months out, that are still due to you. But you said at some point, yeah, you know what? I think I'm good. I don't really need anything else. Now, if they know you well enough, they know when that's the truth and when that's not. I don't know, I think I still have impulse issues. I still see things and I have to have it. Even when I think I'm done, I remember back to, well, I talked to this knife maker and that knife maker and that knife maker, and they're going to make this, and this for me when their schedule frees up. Oh, shit. Oh, there's another $800. There's another $1,200. There's another $300 that I've got to lay out. Even tonight, as I sit here and I'm pulling that trigger, I'm clicking that mouse, and I'm jumping on that Kirby Lambert. As after I send the message, I go, oh yeah. Well, I forgot. I've still got Mikkel Williamson. After Blade, he's going to have my knife ready. Well, there's another $950,000. Oh, Jason Browse is making me a one-off version of the Reloader. Well, there's going to be a good $500, $600, $700 probably. We haven't really discussed that. Oh yeah, I have commitment I made to Will Moon for the first Mark 7 that he makes, the 3.5-inch version of the Mark 6. Well, whew, there's another $400, $500, $600 right there. And you tally this up in your head, and that's when you make the mistake of looking across that and across what you already own. And you start tallying up how much you've spent. And then your day is defined by dollars. Your collection is defined by dollars. You think to yourself, oh my good Lord, if I weren't into knives, if I had no collecting hobbies, that $7, $8, $10, $15, $20,000 that I have sitting in that Pelican case or in that knife collector's case, whatever you're using, I could have bought this with that. I could have done that with that. I could have fed a small starving village with that. Yeah. It's hard to think of things like that. And luckily, for most of us that are obsessive collectors like this, that are always feeding on the new, the what's incoming, not wanting to feel that hole in our soul when we realize everything has arrived and nothing else is coming. Most of us that buy in that manner have a disposable income that we can dedicate to our hobbies. I know if this were 15 years ago, oh, I couldn't, there's no way I could do this. I'd be taking food off my table to feed my obsession. And that's dangerous. And I hope none of you are in that situation. And honestly, if you are, you would never talk about it on this open forum. And, I wouldn't expect you to. But think about that if you are. Because at the end of the day, these are all just things. They're toys. They're fun. Sure, some may be worth more money in the future, and they could be an investment of some sort. But by how much? I mean, we're not buying, or at least I'm not. I don't want to say we, because there are a lot of really hardcore collectors out there. But you know what? I'm not buying John Jensen's. I'm not buying Joe Caius. I'm not buying Jeff Harkins that are $10,000 knives that will appreciate in value and become $12,000, $15,000, $18,000 knives in my lifetime. I don't really foresee myself getting into that level. I'm the watch guy. That was my original main obsession. This is a $4,000 watch. That's not tremendously expensive in the world of watches. It may go up in value. It may go down. Who cares? But as much as I live, eat, and breathe watches, you're not going to see me spending $120,000 on a Breguet or on a Patek Philippe or on a Hublot. It's just not going to happen. A, because I don't want to spend that kind of money on something that I'm wearing that I'm going to damage at some point or show wear or anything like that. And B, I'd rather spend that money on something better and something for my family. So I have to wonder, what's that brick wall for me? And how many more levels might I escalate? Might I hit that $3,000 purchase? Might I go to that $4,000 or $5,000 purchase on a Damascus blade, custom scrimshawed Peter Carey? I don't know. I don't see it coming. But you know what? I didn't see the collection I have coming, and I just can't fit everything here. That's why I keep dragging out a different knife and shoving it in front of the camera from off screen. It's gotten to that point. It's ridiculous. I just can't fit it all in. I can only carry them one at a time. Well, no, not really. I could carry two, maybe three at a time. But there's only a certain amount of appreciation I can get out of each one. Unfortunately, I live a more complicated life than I lived 15 years ago. I have kids, and I have a wife, and I have a family, and job, and responsibilities. I can't just sit in my house and fondle my knives all day. I'm lucky if I can sit down once a week and go through the ones on a rotation that need to be lubricated, sit down with a tough cloth and make sure everything's in good shape, check my pivots, and the normal basic routine maintenance things that we do. I'm lucky if I get that time once a week. I'm lucky to sit down and make these videos. So I gotta wonder what that wall is for me. And I want to hear from you guys. What level are you at in your collecting? And it has nothing to do with dollar amounts. I could care less if a knife costs, if it's super crazy expensive or if it's a $50 knife. Still one of my absolute favorites and always will be and will always be in my collection. I paid $98 for my Manix 2. Still gets carried a ton, and I absolutely freaking love it. So believe me, this has nothing to do with the money that you've spent or are going to spend or what level, dollar-wise, you're buying in. Doesn't matter if you're buying productions or customs. I just mean, how far are you going to take it? How many is too many? How many is enough? What's going to be that wall for you? And is there an end-all, be-all that if you snag that one knife, that'll be it for you? I'd love to hear from you. Give me your thoughts. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.